What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the G-Red Show, your one-stop shop for all things FC Barcelona, from breaking news, transfer rumors, match recaps, player analysis, plus my thoughts, opinions, and more. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, so if you guys enjoy this content, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Today's video is centered around a very abrupt and wild piece of transfer news, a rumor that could stir up a lot of controversy that I think we're definitely going to get into in this video. So there's a potential swap deal sending Ronald Araújo to AC Milan in exchange for Rafael Leão to Barcelona. This deal is loud, it's controversial. I don't think many people are going to agree with my stance, but that's exactly why we're talking about it. So stick around as we break down the facts, analyze the pros and cons, and I'll give you my honest opinion about this transfer coming right up. So as always, drop your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely want to hear what you guys agree or disagree with. Now let's get right into it. So AC Milan is reportedly offering Rafael Leão to FC Barcelona in exchange for Ronald Araújo. Milan is interested in reinforcing their back line, and Ronald Araújo apparently fits AC Milan's needs perfectly. Now, on the other hand, Barcelona is still searching for their explosive left winger, Luis Diaz and Nico Williams, to name a few, as we all know. Now, from July 1st to the 15th, Ronald Araujo's release clause drops to $65 million, which makes him temporarily affordable, which is a definitely key window for Barcelona, allowing this move to happen, especially since Barca is strapped for cash and needs to work within their strict financial play constraints. Selling Araujo could help the club not only add an elite winger, but also frees up space, salary space, and allows other signings to be registered. And when you look at the whole signing from a business standpoint, it almost starts to actually make sense. So what's the catch? Now, from a tactical perspective, Barcelona fans have been split on Araujo for quite some time right now. Yes, he's had a few big mistakes in moments, most notably the Champions League against Inter Milan and PSG last season. And let's be honest, those errors were very, very tough to watch and made us really question his future at the club. Now, at the same time, Rafael Leão is one of the most talented and dynamic wingers in the world. Getting him straight up for Araujo, it sounds almost like a dream. But let's talk about the bigger picture here. I'm not entirely sure what AC Milan's thought process is, because there has been rumors about Mike Maignan, their top keeper, heading to Chelsea, although that seems that it might have fallen through, but he still could be on the market. And then they have Reinders, their fantastic midfielder, very, very class player who just signed with Man City, and now they're offering their next best player, Leao, to Barcelona. They still have Pulisic, who's been excellent, but it's really, really hard for teams to find top quality, and letting all these players go seems very, very concerning for AC Milan. Sure, getting Araujo helps their defense, but if you're losing those other players in the same window, you're definitely not strengthening your team. You're patching holes and just hoping it works out. So I just thought that was interesting. But here's the controversial truth that I think people might disagree with me with. I actually don't want to sell Araujo, and here's why. Football's changed. It's become a lot more fast and physical and athletic, and you can see it with every top team. Lightning fast wingers, dynamic pressing systems, and high intensity transitions. Barcelona has historically struggled to adapt to this shift. We've had defenders like Piqué, Mascherano, Longley, who were good in their own ways, but none of them were ever particularly fast or agile. And now look what we're up against every single year. Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Jeremy Doku, now Marmoush at Man City, Haaland, Jamal Musiala, Adeyemi. The list goes on and on and on with extremely fast and technically gifted wingers. It's impossible to defend these players in a high line, especially when your back line is extremely slow. I mean, looking at the current depth, besides Araujo, you have a very, very young and inexperienced Pau Cubarsí, who's also extremely slow. Now, it's hard to criticize him because he's young, but he's very, very slow and still gumpy. Andreas Christensen, very good and smart defender, but extremely injury-prone and slow. Inigo Martinez, aging, limited mobility. I don't really see him at the club longer than next season. Koundé is someone I would like to see play center back at times, as he's faster than them and more agile, but it seems like he's progressed really well on that right side, and seems like he'll be staying in that spot on the right for quite some time. Now that leaves us with Araujo, that's really able to consistently track back and go shoulder to shoulder with elite attackers and shut them down, especially when utilizing a high line. We've literally seen Araujo neutralize Vinicius Jr. multiple times. He's one of the few defenders that's actually capable of that. Is he perfect? No. I mean, I'll admit he can be a 10 out of 10 some days and then a 5 out of 10 the other days. I think what we're missing with Araujo is that lack of consistency. 7 to 8 out of 10s consistently is all we would want from Ronald Araujo. And it's these few mistakes, especially against PSG, deserve criticism, but the reaction has been a little overblown in some of these other matches. For example, on Inter Milan, yes, terrible mistake, but he wasn't the only reason they scored 7 goals. In fact, he really wasn't even on the pitch for a majority of these goals. The bigger risk is if Barcelona sells Araujo, we're doubling down on a system that doesn't have the defensive players to support the high line. If we continue to play a high line with Cabarsi, Christensen, or Inigo Martinez as the main defenders, then a very fast-paced opponent is going to absolutely exploit Barcelona. All these teams are going to have to do is study the high line and tell their players to delay their run by 1 or 2 seconds, and one simple ball over the top and the team is done, and teams will score 2, 3, 4 goals consistently if they decide to do that. I think Araujo is the only player in the defensive unit outside of Balde and maybe Koundé that has the defensive speed, strength, and ability to handle that. He is also a leader. He's vocal, he's physical, and he could be at the club for quite some time. Now, if this deal was truly Araujo for Leao straight up, you can't deny it does make Barcelona's attack absolutely terrifying.
Running at Rahmani, Rafael Leão, and still!
Prova a puntare Rafael Leão, grande giocata di Rafael Leão.
I mean, you have Leao, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, plus Pedri, Frankie, Gavi, all behind them. That's absolutely stacked. Leao brings size, speed, flair, and he can beat anybody one-on-one. Barcelona would, in fact, have absolutely the most dangerous attack in the world. I don't think it comes close. But the trade-off is massive, and you have to consider losing your fastest center back, and you fill your back line with slow players. In a high-line system, you're begging to get exposed throughout Europe, especially in the Champions League. Final thoughts, I don't think this deal actually happens, to be completely honest. And I know that Luis Diaz and Nico seem to still be the top priority for Barcelona. Still, if this possibility is available for this swap, I would love to know if you guys would take this. I just don't buy sending Araujo to AC Milan. They're just going to give us Rafael Leão straight up when he was going for over 150 million last season. So I would love to know what you guys think about this transfer down below. If it is in fact a straight up transfer, would you guys accept this? I'm assuming most people would. But when it comes to the defensive end, what do you do against these fast teams? Because they will get exposed, and they have been getting exposed. And I think in order to win big matches and be successful for years on end, you have to adapt, and Barcelona needs to start adapting with some of these players, especially on the defensive end. So let me know what you guys think about this down below. Really want to hear what you guys have to say, and if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to drop me a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Peace.